I actually don't know where your city is, Bob.
I'm right next door.
Okay, where is my scout? Why are you?
I'm as next door as you can possibly be.
Oh, I can see your house now. I can see your house.
My
from
house. Here. So I saw you guys were playing Rocket League last week, and I have Rocket League. That was actually gifted to me by an associate of mine. I'm not gonna say friend because they're not really friend, but that's actually a hard game to do and play. Maybe I need a controller to do it.
Oh, very much so.
Because I'm using my keyboard and mouse to try to play it and stuff. It's just like, oh my god, what's even happening?
Yeah, it's definitely a controller game. I mean, it's really made for like the PS3 or 4 or whatever the hell it launched on originally, but it's it's a fun game. The nice part about it is when you're doing this kind of thing, you really don't have to concentrate. Like you do and you don't. It's not like you have to plan anything. You just have to react. So I think we were able to hold a pretty good conversation after we kind of played for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty fun as well. It changed it up from just all the strategy that we have to play on our channel, that we like to play on our channel.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is like you hit a point when you're playing a strat game where it's so easy to get distracted from some of the content that you're trying to discuss.
Yep.
Because you're so busy trying to actually play the game well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually starting to go out and attack and stuff. I'm actually digging that.
So this will be weird. We're playing two different games.
Mm-hmm.
We are, it's true.
So did you guys already start talking about the namesake of the show here? The Casus Belli changes? Because we were kind of talking, Midge and I were talking about that significantly in the chats in our Discord service this week. So
no, we haven't.
Well, that's actually not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
Did they kill the whole thing entirely?
Yep, they killed it entirely.
It happened very, very
pussies.
quickly. So to catch people up on what we're talking about, Johan, who is in charge of, I think, the creative development team, or no, he's the VP or something, isn't he?
No, he's creative director.
Creative director of Paradox. He works on EU4 and I think Stellaris as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what all projects he's getting. Anyway, he put out just a tweet saying, hey, there's going to be some changes to how CBs are created, namely that the fabricate claim is going to be going away and being put into a Diplotech instead. A lot of people got mad at that. They weren't happy about it. So what he did then was put up a poll on Twitter, and that the last I saw of it, it was 77% in favor of leaving it the way it is.
Yeah.
That's so disappointing.
So it was axed as an idea.
I was really, really looking forward to that.
I am being attacked. Where am I being attacked? What? Where?
Your scout is being attacked.
Because I really do feel like that's a completely broken
it's
mechanic.
Killed in your city.
Fabricating claims?
Oh, yeah, it's horrible. I mean, the idea that you send a Diplo somewhere for like 6 months at a time, and then suddenly you have convinced the rest of the world that your country should be about 3 times larger than it currently is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's ours too. That's ours. No, that's ours too.
I don't disagree with that. I don't think necessarily. Jesus Christ, these guys are actually really fucking tough.
Oh God. What level did you put these guys onto?
Moderate.
It's not too bad.
Oh my God. They're crawling all over us.
I'm lagging.
I'm lagging too.
Oh.
That's no good.
Oh my God, how have they got that many men?
I don't know.
So yeah, that was my issue. I feel like the only
should we switch to Rocket League?
You've
resigned.
I'm just out. I'm out.
All right, let's switch to Rocket League then.
I'm cool with switching to Rocket League. That's fine.
Oh, okay. It seems we're not going to be on an Age of Empires stream. I will definitely have to sort out these thumbnails after the fact.
So what in place of the fabricate claim would you put instead for CBs then?
I discussed this and I came up with quite a good answer, and it was I had the idea that they would install a slider on the overlaying map menu, so like you could have like a slider at what tech it appears. Tech 0 is where it currently appears, but you can have it like slide up to tech 7, 4, what was it, 12 and 16, like as an like a starting screen option. So the player would then choose where they wanted the fabricate claims to come in themselves, and therefore the people that didn't want to play with it could still not play with it, and the people that wanted to play with it could.
Yeah, I think the other thing, because kind of part of my issue with the whole fabricate claims concept is that it essentially makes EU4 a blob game no matter what you do. Like, there's no other way to play EU4 right now, which I find kind of aggravating, right? Because I think a lot of other Paradox games have a little more nuance to them, whereas in EU4 it's like you just take over everybody near you. That's all you do. That's the only way to play the game. It's the only way to be successful. And so I felt like, and it's funny because it's like the one super anti-historical thing about the game.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, the trade Casus Belli, for example, very common reason for actual wars throughout history, right? And it's almost never used in EU4. But I think they just needed to create more. You need to create different ways to have a CB, like the trade war, right? There could be I think the religious CB should be easier. I think the people would start to use the what's the other one? Not the justify trade conflict, but the like the claim throne. There's a lot of different reasons that wars happen. And it's usually not because somebody went and wrote a forged document for 6 months, right? So that's my only thing. I'm like, it's like the one weak link, but every AU4 player loves it because it allows them to just do that, right? Just to go and take over the entire planet. And I'm exiting to the main menu. Are you guys in already?
Yeah, we're in the main menu.
I got a party going.
Right.
I love that on the side. I was just reading this whole NBA flag thing. And there's our simulations update will also include the free hoops mode, exclusively Dunk House. Just like there's a map named after me. Because if you didn't know, that's my last name. Hey. Dunk, not House.
I thought it was Dunk House. I thought your last name was literally Dunk House. That'd be great.
Can I set this up to put us against bots, or do we have to go against players?
We can go. Well, you can do, I think, exhibition to do that, but it's fine going against players.
Yeah, players is fine. We just jumped straight into competitive.
Yeah, we didn't mess around last week. We went competitive play, and then I don't remember how many or if any games we won, but we had a good time.
What are my controls again for this game?
I don't know. We're using controllers.
Is it WASD? Yeah.
Do you tell me? I've literally never played this game without a keyboard.
I used to, but that was a long time ago.
That's how Bob became a liability for his team.
It's nice not to be the liability for once.
Create private match. Bot difficulty, joinable by.
Oh, we're going against bots.
Only. How do I do that?
Bob's terrified of other players.
Are we just playing online?
Just hit play online, find match, 3v3.
That's what I'm.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Password.
With my really flamboyant mouse truck.
It's fabulous.
I need to. It doesn't look right in the.
I think I got it now.
Is there like an in honor of Prince like skin we can throw on here?
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
That'd be fantastic.
Yet another really sad death of a music icon. An like creative icon.
Yeah, 2016 has not been kind.
No.
There we go. I'm already dead.
Oh wow. Wow, this is ever so slightly laggy.
Ever so slightly. Which servers did you pick from, Bob?
All regions.
Oh, that might be why.
How do I boost again? Control? No.
Oh god. Oh god.
This will be hilarious.
Okay.
How do I even?
We'll change the regions up after this match, yes?
Yes.
Please.
Yeah, I tried. I think last week we did East
Europe.
and Europe, yeah. That way, we're guaranteed that at least one of us had a decent connection.
Oh,
and
here
the
we
other
go.
Probably would not
Let's
have a
go.
bad connection.
We scored, so it can be all that bad.
Boop.
I want to.
And then I just wanted to be sure. I was like, just to make sure. So anyway, that's my little rant on Casus Belli. I wish we could have a little more variety to it. Is all.
I swear, if you press start, you not start select, you could bring up the scores and like pings of everybody.
That's R1 for me. Right trigger. Right. Right.
Oh no,
trigger.
it's a left bumper for me.
Oh, there you go. Right bumper. That's what I was trying to say. Nice job. Oh, I was too early on that one. It's too early.
Oh, I teed it up for him.
That's all right. That's all right. These things happen. So anyway, yeah, it's I'm kind of a little disappointed that they completely bitched out on that.
Well, I don't know if there'd be a lot to do if we just remove that fabricate claim CB though, right? There's still not a lot of peacetime gameplay. There's a lot of management you can do.
Well, it doesn't mean you can't go to war. It just means that your wars are going to be
used the other way.
Yeah, you have to use
consequential.
the other many CBs in the game that no one actually remembers exist because nobody bothers.
Conquest, trade.
There's no reason.
Show superiority.
Yeah, the religious ones. There's all kinds of different ones. And then there's always the, like just declare war,
Yeah, just no CB it. Someone. Oh,
I think the other thing that I had suggested, I think when Midge and I were talking, is just make it more like CK2 where they don't. It's just not a guaranteed CB every X months.
Or even add the implement of having to pay a little bit for it.
Yeah. Or the other thing that I said would be even better, and here's where I think they really could go, and I think it would be the easiest thing to implement, is get it to where the penalty for being discovered actually has teeth.
Yeah.
So instead of like adding 2 or 5 or something aggressive expansion for being discovered fabricating claim, add like 30 or 20 or something, right? Like make it something you have to actually think, is this a good idea? Is what I'm about to fabricate here going to be worth the penalty if someone discovers me? Because right now there's literally no downside to fabricating claims.
I also said that if you fail, the nation you're fabricating on should get a claim just because you are trying to fabricate claims.
Right. And you could, the aggressive expansion penalty, you could make very specific to just bordering states if you wanted to. So you could say, for all bordering, when you're found fabricating a claim on a neighbor, every neighbor you have gets 20 or 30 AE because, you're that bastard, right?
Right. A hit to Diplo reputation would be good.
Well, yeah, and I think where I ended up, so my last thing I said, and I thought, okay, this is actually the real answer, that it should be. I don't think they would do it. It should hit trust. It should affect trust of.
You did say that.
It should affect trust like kind of like an AE effect. So the closer they are, the more it's going to hit the trust. Because that to me, that means I really need this because I'm going to piss off a whole bunch of people. Because honestly, it should affect trust, right? Like you are literally making up shit to have a reason to take over a country. You are lying.
Just determined that was a lie.
Yeah, you are lying to justify conquest. So that should 100% have a big impact on trust. And that those two last ones there, the trust one and the AE one, at least they fit very easily in with existing mechanics, and they won't they wouldn't be, I don't think, hard to implement, right? Like I think that those are very easy things to to modify from a coding perspective. And they would also be easy to undo if people didn't like it.
Unfortunate.
Oh, what do you see a stiff arm in 40 seconds?
Famous last words, Bob.
Overtime where they're going to score a golf drive of a goal off the tee. I'm going to drop back and hold defense. Let you two go for that. This is where they score against me.
You just need some good counters. There we go.
On there.
20 seconds.
Come on. Okay, that was a good center, but now I've got to get... you haven't played this much, have you, Bob?
Mm-mm.
If you don't have a boost and you need to boost a lot, just quick succession do the like the flips and stuff.
Just clear it. Just clear it.
Because it keeps
hit
you...
the ground. There we go.
It keeps you going. It gives you momentum.
Yeah, front flip in particular.
Or back flip.
Yeah, but I think that doesn't speed you up as much, does it?
It does, but it slows you if you're already going forward.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Oh, you wanted me to switch it to some other region.
Yeah, so we'll exit to the main menu.
Exit to main menu.
Well, I can do it from here, actually. Bam.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
there, so I've got U.S. East and Europe set.
There you go. Other than that, what do you know, one of the things we talked about last week when you were gone was kind of what the happiness or unhappiness with some of the Mare Nostrum changes now that we've had kind of a few weeks in the saddle.
Corruption is, I think, the biggest thing that people don't like.
Which
I'm okay with.
The biggest
okay with
issue I
corruption.
have is not with corruption; it's with monetary situations. So,
Money.
The money is 100 times harder now, and I think it's because they added 2 mechanics that cost money, and they didn't change the income at all. So, corruption and states both cost ducats, but there's nothing that makes you make more money now. Like, you could argue that the states do, but they really don't early game, right? They don't until late game when you start to have, quote-unquote, what would be overseas. In the meantime, they just cost you more money in general for provinces that you weren't really paying. You could get 100% autonomy before on, and so that's the biggest thing I've seen in my gameplays is the amount of money you can make is significantly lowered, or especially in the early game.
Oh, wow. I kaboomed.
These things happen.
Yeah, well, I've noticed it a lot in my Mare Nostrum campaign where I'm playing as my custom nation.
Oh.
I'm currently at the time where I've stopped recording. I have 10 debts left, but I had at a height of 15 loans and no income to defeat it as a trade nation in the Mediterranean with quite a bit of land.
Come on.
Oh boy, clear that. Thank you. Yeah, that's the same thing. So in Bob and I's multiplayer, which we accidentally took a week off on, I am Genoa. Yeah. And normally Genoa is not that hard to make money with. And in my single player, I'm Venice. Both of them, I'm struggling to stay profitable.
Yep, I'm barely making any ducats, and I'm basically based in Sardinia and Sicily with my nation.
Oh boy, nicely done, Mitch. Yeah, that's I don't know about what you've seen, but that's been the biggest thing I've noticed. Now you probably don't notice as much in the stuff you're doing with Benjamin, because you guys are all playing big nations, but the smaller nations are absolutely dirt poor now.
Yeah, there's no money in anything anymore. Not until very late game where you can start really manipulating trade nodes will those guys make money, I don't think. There's also, I think, there's been some bugs reported with trade nodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where no matter how many.
Well, is it really a problem with income, or is it maybe that there's just some tuning that needs to happen with perhaps in the case of Venice or Genoa, how those trade leagues actually work and how trade power adds to your income?
Well, I'm saying that those countries generally made money without any trade leagues at all. And now they almost never make money at all.
Even with them.
Even with them, right? So we've added trade power, but we've taken away money because the states cost money, the whatchamacallit costs money, corruption costs money, right? but there's been no additive. So we've reduced everybody's income because we've added expenses, right? This is, we're talking finances now, right? We've added expenses, but we have not added any income. The idea behind charging for states essentially was you were guaranteed to be able to never have, you didn't have to worry about those overseas holdings anymore, and you could make them states, and they could have 100 or 0% autonomy and all that fun stuff. But functionally, early game, you're just paying for provinces that used to, have for free and get full income from. Now you're paying for them. Which, I don't have an issue with the mechanic. I just think that right now it's a little broken in the sense that it is completely lopsided from an income versus expenses perspective.
Mm.
Now, again, that might be something they can patch out, and I haven't looked at the 117 stuff yet, but I'm hoping it's addressed.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't played a Trade Republic or anything like that in the new expansion, so I couldn't tell you. I don't really have good insight on that. I play as Poland, Brandenburg, and I'm playing currently as Spain right now.
Right. In Spain, I would not expect to have monetary issues just because of the sheer size of the country.
Which I'm not. So it sounds like it might be just a Trade Republic problem.
No, it's definitely not a Trade Republic problem. It's just a smaller nation problem.
Yeah. Someone who doesn't have as big a tax base that might rely on production or trade just to make those extra ducats to do things with.
Yeah, because like Poland and Spain, I would expect no problems at all. And depending on how big your Brandenburg has become, then they may not have any issues either.
Well, that one I actually face planted. That series is over.
Well, then maybe you did. You were going to have some money issues. You just didn't know about it yet.
Maybe.
Yeah. Something I've also felt is that, is it me or do rebels are rebels a bit broken at the moment? Because another issue I found, because I don't have much money to play, it could be because I don't have much money to play with, and my corruption grows quite a bit, but rebels just never end.
I have not had that issue yet.
Well, I actually had pretty much rebels break my country, and that's why I'm so much in debt.
Oh, wow.
Like, I got out of a white peace war against Tunis and the Ottomans, and since then I've been fighting rebel after rebel after rebel after rebel, and I've taken like really poor land, so it's not worth anything over there. I've only just got some worth it provinces, and I've just been. And the rebels have outdone my armies, and I've found that I just can't stop getting the local unrest and things down enough because my corruption's growing, and I've got stacks of loans to pay off, and it's just kind of a never-ending cycle. But
so what put you into debt? Was it the peace with the Ottomans?
Pretty much after fighting the war, I had one rebel stack pop, which ruined my army, so I had to rebuild my army, and then since then they've just unleashed hell. I can't actually put my finger on it properly where all my money went, but it went, and then my corruption is it's only about 5, but I haven't got the money to pay it off, and I've still got loans to pay off and things, and it's become a bit of a vicious cycle of horribleness.
Yeah, what I haven't seen yet is runaway corruption, and I don't know how badly that impacts the game yet, because I've, for the most part, been able to keep, and to be fair, at the expense of, my nation's finances, but for the most part, I've been able to keep, that under control, corruption at least.
Yeah.
Because if memory serves, the corruption penalties are not insignificant.
Yeah, they're go
you get high
minus
enough,
15% on everything.
I think in my Spain game, which is the highest the corruption's ever gotten, is about 12, and it was noticeable enough that I was just I need to take care of this problem right away, and not just waiting to conquer more territory, as you do.
Right, like you do.
Yeah, but then again, your tech was completely kerfuffled.
Yeah, that was actually, it gets worse even if your techs are.
Yeah, because that nice. I thought that was going in. Yeah, because that has a pretty big impact when you have the unbalanced text or whatever. has
Yeah,
a really
and
big impact on your
it
corruption.
stacks even more. The further in tech you have, and depending on
Oh, he just got a
you
piece
can only
of
have
that.
2 techs at a time that are.
Oh, come on.
My gosh, you're so
Just
close to
shooting
getting that
around
thing
it.
in.
Oh god, oh god, oh
Oh
god.
no, that took a bad bounce.
Oh. Go on, just punt it in, punt it
There
in.
you go. Yes.
Oh boy.
Good job.
I've been waiting the whole overtime. I've been kind of dumping back and waiting for counters. Wow, that guy's angry.
Oh, fantastic.
They're very angry.
No kidding. So I like corruption though, in that it is an anti-blob mechanism, and it is forcing you to sit back and administrate your realm more so than you would ordinarily do so prior to Mare Nostrum coming out.
Agreed. And for the most part, I'm happy with the changes in Mare Nostrum. I'm only concerned about the monetary pieces, and it's not a Mare Nostrum thing, but I am a little. I'm a little tired of the 100% blob all the time. I mean, if you think back to our EU4 Italy campaign, that was it. That's all we had to do. It's just, start blobbing, and then once you've started blobbing, nothing can stop you from blobbing.
Right.
So I'm just looking up some interesting PC game news, and I'm just sifting through it. And actually, this week there doesn't seem to be much going on.
Well, we're kind of between release stuff, right? So
Yeah.
Get out of here. Get out of here, you crazy bastards. Yeah, I mean, really, the big upcomer is Stellaris, and then, that'll consume, I think, a lot of the, a lot of what we deal with on a regular basis. That will be consumed for a while by that. Put it
it's
in.
all yours, Mitch, man. It's all yours. Go all the way.
I love this game. It's a little bit of fun.
I have enjoyed a little bit of a break from especially because this week I was gone and I didn't record last weekend, but I've enjoyed a little bit of the strat break, to be honest with you, because I've been playing basically, we played this last week and I played some Rainbow Six Siege.
Nice.
We all ended up either buying it or having it bought for us after the free weekend, so we've continued to play that. And
I missed the free weekend, unfortunately.
A lot of our ARC folks that play with us on the ARC server actually also have it, so we have a fairly large group of people who have the game now, and it's been kind of fun to have a non, I didn't know enough people that got the Division, so Bob, I know you had it, but I mean, other than you, I don't know that I knew anyone with it, so we didn't go down that rat hole, but Six Siege.
I'm so disappointed with the Division right now, actually.
Yeah, I was afraid that was going to happen too.
It fell into that same. A lot of it's server side as well, right now, which is causing a problem, like all the hacking on PC and such.
Oh, really?
But there's just not a lot to do at endgame with it. It's a fantastic game to level up in, I think, but there's just not enough going on at the end game for you to be continue playing. Now they did release an incursion, which is supposed to be kind of like an end game sort of raid sort of situation, which I wasn't overly impressed with at all. Plus it's all bugged to hell too, so it's like they pushed the content out and now they're just scrambling to try to fix it, but in the meantime we're all just kind of like, well, what do you want us to do, Ubisoft?
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I didn't get it in the end. I thought this is just going to get to a point where it's not going to be playable, really.
I mean, what I think the better tact to go with those Tom Clancy games is going to be like Rainbow Six Siege, where it's kind of more of just a deathmatch type setup, or what's that one coming out? The new Ghost Recon one.
That looks
Wildlands,
the large scale one.
Do you know what I want a remake of? Tom Clancy game? End War. End War was so good. I loved End War. The Troop Command one, the actual strategy game one. I thought that was brilliant, and I could see the Tom Clancy universe could make a really good
nice
Red Alert style game, maybe.
Maybe. I'm not really ever impressed with modern warfare strategy games necessarily, just because our Our level of technology just, negates so many of the ideas presented in them, I think.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's kind of just that suspension of disbelief that you would ordinarily have in something like Command and Conquer Red Alert. I find it very hard to get over that in, things like End War or there's another 80s set one. I forgot what it was called, but
I need to actually play Ashes of the Singularity because I own it. I just haven't popped it open yet.
This is the third week you've
Yes, the third week I said it.
Yeah. And there was a 1 week gap between one of those weeks, so it's been a month.
Bought it. Haven't played it.
I still haven't looked up that game you told me to look up.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, No Man's Sky. I still didn't look that up.
That one looks fascinating. I'm still not sure I'm convinced by it though.
Well, there's 3 of them that are kind of could be really interesting. There's No Man's Sky, there's Star Citizen, and then there's
good shot.
Nice.
No Man's Sky, Star Citizen, and then Dangerous Elite that are all kind of in that same vein of sandboxy space games. I think only No Man's Sky and Star Citizen have land, like you can go out and do stuff on foot. I don't believe Elite Dangerous has that, but they're all 3 kind of interesting, and they all have somewhat of a procedural generation factor going. I mean, No Man's Sky is the absolute, like extreme example of that because the entire game is procedurally generated, which is kind of fascinating. But my biggest concern on No Man's Sky, and I think I said this the last time, is that they're almost positioning it like a single-player game in a massive multiplayer world where you will probably never be able to play with your friends, which seems kind of insane to me.
Yeah.
Star Citizen certainly has its own warts, and Elite Dangerous as well, especially since it doesn't have any of the out-of-ship stuff. But they're all 3 kind of a really cool, interesting new style of. I say new, like newer delivery of that concept. So I'm curious to see how any of them turn out. To be honest with you.
So I just saw something and it sparked a question that I want to ask you both. What do you both think of VR right now? Because there's lots more stuff coming out on VR. There's the HTC one that's came out?
HTC Vive.
That's all. Everyone's
with 1 second left.
Last fucking slap in the face.
But I've just seen it and it's thought. What do you think about doing it? What do you think about the idea of it, and what would you like to see from it?
So I think VR of the platforms that are out, right? So which is really Oculus and Vive. There's Samsung too, but that's a little different. That's the phone-based one. I think Vive's probably the better platform of the 2 I've seen so far over Oculus. But as far as Nem's opinion of VR, I think that it's probably going to be a little more nichey than anyone thinks at the moment. Not in the sense that you can't do a lot of stuff with it, but in the sense that the gameplay mechanics don't exactly transfer over. Like the one game that I think is an example of a game that would be super successful in VR is probably Eve Valkyrie, because that is you're basically in a space fighter, right? So you're in your seat. You get to look around, and all the VR stuff is super cool, but it's you stationary. Work. Thank you. And so I think that's a great example. But a lot of the games I'm seeing are like move around games, and those games I think have a limit to how cool they'll be or how much gameplay you're going to get out of them.
Yeah. See, what I saw once, I think I saw the technology being built for it in a Linus Tech Tips video. Basically, it's like a backpack you can strap a computer into, and like a system of like different guns and things that you can attach to your computer and everything, and have the VR headset on so you can move around with it. And I thought that was a really cool idea. And the reason they proposed it was for like, you ever done laser tag? Like a laser tag place that's in VR, so you're actually in like so it VRs you into a war zone. I think that idea, like, there's a huge
Clear
merit
it.
for that. I think in future, like you wear basically like a VR kit. So instead of them having to build all these really phony 80s looking sci-fi scenery everywhere that you shoot over, you actually go in and you VR into a war zone. I think that would be so cool.
So I
Like,
don't disagree that mobile VR. Well, there's absolutely problems with mobile VR, but so the
yeah,
HTC Vive is actually mobile VR in the sense
yep,
that the way it works, you've got those two sensors, so you can actually wander around the room.
yeah,
But there are limits to it. The Oculus does not have that functionality at all.
yeah.
So the problem with that idea, though, is that you would have to have. I mean, if you think about what it takes to run VR right now, it's not
Oh yeah,
insignificant from a hardware perspective. So the miniaturization factor that's going to be required to make that functional, we're probably still years away from it. The interesting thing I think that's going to happen is whether or not AR can get their stuff together before VR really figures out their stuff. Because I do think that the VR has a lot of limitations. I think it will be really cool, and I think there'll be some sort of a market for it. I don't think it's going to be as mass market as everyone thinks it will be.
yeah. I think the hype is now, but it will die off within like 3 months.
'Cause it reminds me of God. What was another? It's kind of like the Wii and the Xbox. Whatchamacallit, the Kinect, right?
Kinect.
Like,
Yeah.
interesting idea, really cool concept, but boy,
Oh, that
the
was my
games
bad.
could never really make it work.
Well, you think that's because of the limitation of technology, or from a lack of imagination of the developers?
I don't think it's a lack of imagination. I think it's just that it's a mixture of lack of the technology and then just lack of practicality of the technology, right? So the problem with the Wii's and the Kinects and everything is, yeah, that's cool. I can move around. I'm still in my freaking living room, right? So where do you expect me to move around to? And then how accurate can you have, motions detected? So it was a cool idea that I think was maybe less practical than intended.
Yeah.
And when it came time for developers to take it outside of the Wii Sports or the Kinect Sports, they really couldn't do it. And I think VR will have somewhat similar limitations. It could take off if they figure out the right format, but I really think AR is probably where a lot of the future lives.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Some of the AR demos I saw for the HoloLens, at least what they were going to attempt to do, I thought was fantastic. Now, where I do think VR will be interesting, I think VR is going to take off. It's just not going to take off in the gaming industry.
Yeah, oh yeah. It'll be really good for, like I said, with this whole laser tag thing. That's more of a commercial industry than the gaming industry.
Well, but think
Thing
about
for it anyway.
entertainment. Like,
Oh yeah.
think about, hey, let's go film a tropical paradise, and then you can use VR to walk around, and you know what I fear this will be the case. You know what I imagine will be like the most hot game in VR land. It's gonna be some version of Second Life.
Huh. Yeah. I see what you mean.
That's where VR is gonna like,
Tumblr online.
yeah.
A really interesting application would be for like
Oh boy.
instead of going out and seeing houses when you're purchasing them, they put photos online.
Oh yeah,
Just
they
like a
even have,
VR
like,
video of
Yeah,
it.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the non-gaming like the gaming industry drove the technology, but I don't
Yeah.
think it will drive. It
Look
will
at
be
look
the,
at this
the
almost.
consumer
Oh, we
of
just
it.
missed it. My almost save on that. I got the epic save and everything, but they hit it twice. I booted it back.
I just
into
got
the
thrown
result.
into the goal. I just scored myself.
My bad.
All right. That was not what I meant to do, but that might have turned out well anyway.
Go on.
Oh, I couldn't
Oh.
get there fast enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Nope. Oh.
Nice.
Jesus.
Did you do that on purpose, or
Who? What?
what?
I did that on purpose. Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I had a controller.
Oh. Oh yeah, yeah.
I wish I
It's
could
100
send you
times
my
better.
spare.
You get there in a week.
There's probably 10 to 14 days, actually. I haven't got enough money for first class.
Don't let. Oh.
Oh, wait, this isn't our goal way. Whoops. Oh, no, this is the way we're meant to be
This is
shooting.
right. Oh, I missed it. Son of a biscuit. Get back there. Nice. Nice
Oh,
hit.
it's going.
Get it in. Get it in.
No, no. Couldn't even aerial hit it. No, I've got nothing. Keep it.
I tried
No,
to bicycle
Bob.
into the air.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Damn.
Overtime, guys. Overtime. Let's do this. Oh, shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Heart is pounding. No, that's a.
Nope,
Oh,
no, it's not.
nope. Oh, God.
Get that
Oh.
out of here.
Oh, missed it. Somebody go. Bob, do it, do it, do it. Finish it. Oh.
Nope.
Oh, yeah, too low for me. That's a goal.
No. Oh, damn it. That was a
We
good
tried.
game.
We did. All right, gentlemen. We gonna wrap it up?
I think we should.
All right.
Oh, wow. Has that been our hour?
It's been an hour recording my OBS anyway.
Yeah,
it's,
okay.
I mean, not
well-
for you since you had to restart like 4 times.
Yeah, that's probably why I can't see it.
It's been an hour for me at least. So I don't know about you. So well, thank you for joining us, everybody. We'll catch you guys next week.
See
you
ya,
guys.
everybody.